Can you make Samantha co-host as well, please?
Sure can. So we're recording now, Sylvie, ready when you are.
Okay. Move this out of the way so I can see. There we go. Okay, so welcome tonight, everybody. I hope everybody's gonna have fun tonight. Let me just put onto my, there we go. Okay, so yeah, welcome to our Monday night Matrix Motivation training, and tonight we are hosting it. It is Team STAGS hosting it tonight, and we are going to talk about free recruiting, so sponsoring team building for free. So I'm going to do some Facebook advert training, and then Samantha is going to do her testimonial, and Zoe is going to do some warm market training to help us all get started. Okay, can't move me. Second. Right, there we go. Okay, so I'm going to do some training on recruiting on Facebook using Facebook groups. Okay, so I think most of us are on Facebook, and it's a really useful tool to use for recruiting, to start off recruiting as well. It's a great tool. So just some facts before I get started. So did you know that in the UK there is in excess of 43.5 million Facebook users? So we've got a lot of people to go out there and recruit. So, you know, don't worry about not having anybody to speak to about the business. So the average Facebook user has 338 friends or connections on their Facebook. So there's lots of people there to target, but when we have our friends on Facebook, it's not always people who we know personally, and we're not in contact with these people regularly. So, you know, we've still got a lot of people on our own Facebook profiles before we go and, you know, interact with the 43.5 million other people on there as well. Okay, so 53% of UK's Facebook users use the platform to access groups with similar interests. So, you know, if you have pets, or if you have, you know, if you're into gardening or horse riding and things like that, there's always a group that you can join and, you know, interact with people with similar interests. You know, there's mums and dads groups, and loads and loads of buy and sell groups, you know, so there's loads of groups on there. In fact, there's actually over 10 million groups on Facebook that you're able to join, and on your own profile you can join up to 6,000 groups. So, you know, there's never a shortage of groups that you can join. Like I say, you know, there's loads of buy and sell groups, the mums and dads groups, gardening, you know, there's just every single hobby and interest out there, there's a group. So, you know, I've had people say to me before, well, I've joined all the groups. I don't think we have. There's a lot of groups out there that we can join. So just keep searching. And then on Facebook, the maximum amount of friends that you can have is 5,000, but this really is not recommended to have this many friends on your Facebook. It's not just a case of collecting friends when you're on Facebook, using it for your business, using it for you know, for recruiting. When you've got your friends, when you've connected with people on Facebook, if you're not interacting with them, then this is really going to reduce your reach of your Facebook posts. So like I say, it's not just a case of, you know, growing your friends and having loads and loads of friends on your Facebook. Okay, so our system is basically to follow this each day, and by doing this is going to help you build your business. So we have sending out 10 warm market messages per day, and Zoe's going to go through the warm market later and speaking to people, so that's going to be really helpful. The blitz, we do daily blitzes, and there's lots of different times with the blitzes, but this really helps with your Facebook algorithms and things. So we do half an hour blitz each day if we can get onto one of the blitzes, or we do them through ourselves. You need to be joining 10 new Facebook groups every day. So like I just said, there's loads and loads of Facebook groups out there, so you don't need to worry about that. So before you post your recruitment adverts, we recommend that you do about 10 minutes. So it's similar to the blitz. So if you can go through and love and interact on some comments, on some posts in your timeline, then this is going to warm up the Facebook algorithm, so then you're fine to be posting into groups. So we recommend that you do 5 recruitment posts in the morning and 5 in the evening or the afternoon, whichever suits you best. And again, when you go into each group, if you can, you know, love and comment on a couple of the posts, or even just one post in each group before you post your recruitment ads, that will really help. And when you're doing your comment and posting, then we recommend you do the 5 by 5 by 5. So this is basically posting at least 5 posts with 5 comments to 5 different people with at least 5 words, or, you know, a minimum of 3 words, and put 2 emojis on there, so you can mix it up all the time. The boards app, like Helen's just mentioned, is it's just a real game changer. It's going to help with the business so much. You know, everything is done there for you, so you haven't got to worry about, you know, what you need to say or what advert you need to use. So it is, you know, really, really beneficial to download the boards app. If you haven't already, then speak to your sponsor and get the link for our team boards app. So it is a proven system that works for everybody that follows these steps. The system does work, but you just need to follow it and be consistent with it, doing it every single day. No matter what the results are, just follow the actions each day. So then my tip here is, you know, if you want your team to come in and to follow the system, then you need to be following the system, because your team will do what you're doing, not what you tell them to do. Okay, so are you maximizing your reach with Facebook? So there's a few things like I've already mentioned, but there's a few things that you need to be doing on Facebook. So it is, you know, it's a social media platform, and you can, you know, you can use these tools, use these ideas across all the other social medias. But to maximize your reach with Facebook, these are some of the things that we recommend that you do. So like I said, it's social, so people are on there posting, you know, all the time. But when you start using Facebook for your business, you just need to be a little bit aware of what you are posting on there. So your blitzes each day is going to help you reach. Attraction marketing, so you can use like friends lists on Facebook. So if you've had somebody interested in the business who's not a close friend, you can add them to a friends list, and you can be interacting on their timeline, which will help them to see more things that you're posting as well. Posting a good morning post is a really good one every day, because it's getting interaction. People will comment back to you, and it's just, you know, a really nice way of getting on to Facebook in the morning to, you know, start your algorithms warming up. So keep yourself seen to your prospects. So like I say, your attraction marketing, make sure you are liking and commenting on their timeline as well, which will help them to see you more. And, you know, each of these things is going to help with your reach and with your algorithms on Facebook, which in turn will help with when you're posting your Facebook adverts. And like I mentioned earlier, you know, when you start using Facebook for your business, you need to really be aware of your own profile, to keep it clean, keep it positive, you know, no moaning on there, no name calling or swearing and things like that, because people will, you know, the first thing that people will do when they are looking at your advert is they will come and check you out on your profile. So if there's negative on there and things like that, then they're just not going to be interested at all. So it's really important to, you know, keep your profile clean and tidy. Okay, so to get started with our Facebook advertising. Okay, so I use an iPhone, but I'm presuming Android is exactly the same. So I go to the Facebook menu and I select the groups on my list, and then this will bring up all my groups here. So I scroll across, and as you can see there, I'm in 1,200 groups. So there's thousands of groups still that I'm not joining, but I have 1,200 groups on my Facebook. So if I click on that figure there, that will bring up my list of groups. And then at the top there, you can see that the 2 arrows. So to get your groups organized before you start posting is really important. So if you click on them 2 arrows and then put the groups in A to Z order, so put them in alphabetical order, so you can see where you're posting in which groups each day. So then if you just work your way down the list, so like I say, you know, we're doing 5 posts in the morning. So you click on the first post, pop your advert on there, come out of that, go into your second one, pop your advert on, do your 5 posts. And then what I always do is then I will take a screenshot of where I'm up to. So I know that when I go in the evening to do my evening posts, I can just do the same, put them in alphabetical order, and then I can scroll down to where I'm up to, which just makes it really, really simple to know where you're up to. And, you know, don't think, oh, well, I'll know where I'm up to. I've only got a few groups. And, you know, but when you start adding more groups in and when you start working down the list, you will get lost, especially when you get to the buy and sell groups, because there's hundreds and, you know, they're all similar, but maybe just, you know, buy and sell or buy, sell and swap. For the same areas. So it is really important to keep a note of where you are up to on your list. Okay, so like I said before, the Boards app, it's absolutely amazing. If you haven't already got this app and all of the messages from the teams on there, then, you know, speak to your sponsor, speak to your upline and get this app downloaded and get the team boards on there, because that's got everything that you will need. Start working your way through it, you know, have a look through everything yourself and start implementing these messages and everything into your business. Change it. Okay, so when we go into the group, so we go into our first group, we click on as if we are going to post, and then we will click on the Boards app at the bottom. And this will bring up the team boards. Like I just said, you know, there's loads and loads of information on this boards. So if you've not got on it, have a look through everything and, you know, start utilizing these messages, because it is going to absolutely change your business. It's going to make everything so simple. So the recruitment conversations, and then there's a lot of information in there. So you go to your Facebook recruitment ads, and we've got recruitment ad examples and advert images. So you can see there on the recruitment ad examples, there's 4 different adverts and some images. And then obviously there is the ad images as well. That's got loads and loads of ads that you can use. So these are just some examples from the Boards app. So, you know, like I say, you know, keep it mixed up, so you can either put a wording one on or a picture advert, but always keep it basic, keep it short and to the point, and make sure it's eye-catching, because as people are scrolling through Facebook, if you've got an advert that's just loads and loads of wording, they're not going to look, you know, they're not going to stop to read all of that. People are impatient, aren't they? They want to just, you know, see things quickly. So, you know, a picture at the bottom is going to be really good, you know, a picture of yourself maybe, or a picture of money, and that's going to get people stopping. If you are doing a wording one, then, you know, using the emojis in there, that really helps as well. So like I say, these are some examples that are on the Boards app themselves, but you can always change these up when you're posting them, or you can have your own adverts on there as well. So you can just pick one up each time that you're posting. Okay, so once you've posted your recruitment advert onto Facebook, you will start getting people messaging you. So there will be things like, you know, comments underneath saying info, interested, PM me, what is it, tell me more, things like that. So this will, this is where your leads are starting to come through now. So first of all, you always need to like the person's comment. And then if you click reply, it will tag that person, so they will see your message back to them. And then you can message them something like this. So, you know, the name, it could be Helen, pop me a message please and I'll get more information over to you, thanks. Just something like that, just short and sweet to get them to message you. And my tip here is to use the text replacement. So I use this all the time, especially for my Facebook ads. And with the Boards app, it just makes everything so much easier. I haven't got to go into my notes to copy and paste. Everything's just there. So I have basically this message in 5 different ways. And my text replacement is just PM1, PM2, PM3, PM4, PM5. And each time I go into my Facebook messages comments that people have asked for info, I will just, you know, click on like their comment, click on their name to reply, and then just type in PM1 and it will bring up my message and send that to them. So it's so much easier. And again, you know, if you're only getting a couple of replies, and that's okay to type it out, but when you post your adverts of an evening, you wake up in the morning, you've got 30 comments, you know, typing that out every time does take time. So we're all about making things quick and easy so we can get through numbers. Okay, so when you are getting these comments on Facebook asking for information, please don't send them the information first. Let them come to you. Always ask them to message you first. You know, don't be tempted to just send them the message if they don't reply or if they don't send you a message. You know, let them come to you. It's a simple instruction that we're asking them to message us. And if they can't follow that simple instruction, then we don't really want them in the business because they can't follow the instructions of how to work this business. So, you know, don't be tempted to do that. And for a couple of reasons as well, Facebook don't like you sending messages to people who you're not connected with. So they're only messaging you, which is only one person. Whereas if you've got, like I say, you know, if you wake up and you've got 30 comments, you can't send 30 people a message direct who are not contacted to you, because you're potentially putting your Facebook account at risk. You could get a ban and things like that. So, you know, don't be tempted to send them the message first. But also, when you send people messages who you're not connected to, it could go into their filtered messages, and not everybody knows how to access their filtered messages. So, you know, it's best that they send a message to you. If it goes into your filtered message, then we know where we're looking for that. So this is how to check your filtered messages and your spam box. And I would recommend that you do this daily. And if you've never gone into this before, then I would go into this and clear this out ready for when you start doing your Facebook adverts. Okay, so when you go onto your Messenger chat list, if somebody sent you a message who you're not connected to, so a prospect from Facebook, then it won't show up in your normal chat. So you can click on this, on your little icon, on your little picture here. Sometimes it will have a little red circle with a number in, and that's if you've got some messages, so you can see that. But it doesn't always if they're in the spam box. So click on this icon, and then this will bring up a list here. So then you need to click on your message requests. When you do that, this will bring you up this next one. So it will have a list of people there of it says you may know. So if anybody's on that list who've sent you a message, they might just say, you know, more information please, seen your advert or whatever, you can reply to them there. And also on the spam one as well. because sometimes it will go into there. So you need to keep a check on both of these every day when you start your Facebook advertising, because you will have messages going into there. And like I say, if you've never been in there before, then go and clear that out, because you'll probably find that you've got messages already in there. Okay, and also, you know, there's thousands of groups, like we've said, on Facebook, but don't forget your own Facebook group. You know, you've built your Facebook group up and you've got customers in there, and our customers make the best team members. You know, they already love the product, they already trust you, they already know the system of the ordering and things like that. So, and they're probably already sharing, you know, the product or the love of the product with their friends and family anyway. So, you know, our customers definitely make our best team members. So they, you know, don't leave your own Facebook group out from posting your recruitment ads. Okay, so when you have people asking for more information, again, we've got the Boards app with all these messages on. So it's so simple. So all you need to do is go to the message, open your Boards app on your keyboard, go into the Facebook recruitment ads, and then we've got 3 different responses. So like in this message replies 1, there's 4 different responses. So it's in that sequence that you need to send them messages out. And then in this one, there's 3 in that sequence. And then in the last one, there's 4 sequences, and then there's some follow-up messages as well. So again, you know, send the information from the Boards app. You can always add a question at the end if you wanted to, or change the wording up if it doesn't feel like it's what you would say or how you would say things. You know, you can change them up so it's more comfortable for yourself, but all the information is there, so you don't need to think, oh, what do we need to send them and things like that. Okay, so like I've said, you know, when you're doing your Facebook recruiting, you need to focus on the actions. You need to do the daily actions no matter what the results. So don't think about the results. And we say on average, generally you would need to be doing this for 6 weeks to start seeing some good results. So doing the actions every single day, you know, you might do 3 or 4 days and you might not have many people commenting, or you might not have anybody sending you a message when they have asked for information. Don't worry about that. Just keep going with the actions, because it will come. And it's surprising how quickly it grows when you are doing it every single day, you know, because it's just everything working together. So focus on the actions and not on the results, and just be consistent with it every single day and persistent. You know, keep going back and posting your adverts, joining the groups and things like that. So let's have a quick recap on the top tips. So don't panic, you know, like I said, don't worry about anything. Just, you know, have a look through the app, have a look at what adverts you want to post on, what you feel comfortable with, and, you know, give it a go. Keep your profile active. So keep your own Facebook profile, posting on there daily, posting lifestyle things on there as well. So, you know, as you do start building your business and your income increases, you can post things on there what the income is being able to let you do. If you're a stay-at-home mom or a stay-at-home dad, you know, post on there that you're, you know, working your business around your children, and you able to take them to school every day and pick them up every day, go to sports days if they still have sports days now with all of this lockdown and everything. But, you know, things like that really make a difference, because like I said before, when you're posting adverts on, people will come onto your profile and check, you know, who you are and what you're all about. Make sure you're joining new groups every day, so you've always got your list is growing, so you've always got new groups to be posted into. And then, you know, when you get to the bottom of your list, you just start again. So the longer your list, the less chance you've got of posting in groups, you know, every other day. If you've only got 10 groups on your list, then every day you're going to be posting into them 10 groups. Whereas, you know, like on mine, I've got 1,200 groups. So it takes me quite a lot of time before I'm going back into the same group and posting an advert again. Make sure you're posting your adverts in the morning and in the evening as well, 5 each time. Step out of your comfort zone. It is something that, it does make a difference in this business when you step out your comfort zone and do things that you're a little bit unsure of, because that is where the magic happens with everything within this business. It's just amazing to do that. And it is a little bit scary to start with, but we've all been there, we've all done it, and it does make a big difference, and you'll be so proud of yourself when it does, when you start noticing that you're doing things that you would never think you would do. The boards app, I keep mentioning it, I can't say enough about the boards app. Utilize the messages. It's so important to use these and to make your business so simple to run as well. Mix up your adverts. So again, before we had the boards app, I would have my adverts on my notes. So I would go into my groups, find where I was up to, copy my advert, go into the group and post the advert. So I would keep that same advert for the whole of the 5 posts that I was doing. But with the boards app, you can post 5 different adverts each time when you're posting, which is great for Facebook because we're not duplicating, we're not using the same wording. So it's really, really good to mix your ads up. And so even if you've only got 5 ads that you like, you can post 5 of them, 5 in the morning, then 5 in the evening. There's been a big gap in between, and you've probably got some Facebook interaction going on anyway. I've said it again, be consistent, be persistent, just keep doing the daily actions, and you will start getting leads and you will start getting new team members. Speak with your sponsor regularly. This is really, really important, especially when, it's important anyway for the business. But when you start team building, it's really important because there will be things that you're not sure of. People will ask questions, there'll be things that you will need to step out of your comfort zone and you're not sure. So by speaking to your sponsor, you'll get to understand, that we've all been there, that it is, a little bit out of our comfort zone to start with, but your sponsor will help you through and, answer any questions that you've got, but also any questions that your prospect have got. So it's, a lot of good training will come from being in contact with your sponsor. Again, don't be the first to send that message, wait for them to follow the instructions and message you. Make sure you screenshot the groups after each 5 adverts so you know where you're up to, so you're not posting into the same groups again. And just be authentic, be genuine, be yourself. Like I said, if you need to change some of the messages up to be how you would say it, me and Samantha do this constantly. If she's, done a post and I say, oh, can I use that? But I will change it up because how she says things to how I say things are totally different. And vice versa. If I do something, she will change it. So it's the same with this, make it so it's suitable to yourself. Okay, and block the haters. Don't worry about it. People will put funny comments on your post, but don't let it worry you. Just keep, if somebody comments something that's that you don't like, that's not about your advert, just block that person. If there's no other comments on that post, delete the whole post, because next time you come round to posting into that group, that person won't be able to see your post anyway, so it's all good. If there is other comments on there, just block the one person and leave it on there. If nothing else is going on there, it's fine. If anybody else comments on it, then just delete the post anyway. And most of all, have fun. It's when you start team building, it really is a fun thing, and you'll hear this time and time again, and you might have experienced it, but when we have team in this business, it just changes everything. It's so amazing to have new friends and new connections, and to be able to help other people to achieve their goals as well. So yeah, definitely have fun when you're doing this. And that's me. That's my Facebook training. Thank you very much. So now I'm going to hand you over to Samantha. So Samantha is my daughter, obviously, and she's joined the business last year when we were in lockdown. I'll let her tell the story, but she's actually qualified as director, and she is the youngest director in the company. So we're really, really proud of Samantha, and I'll just hand you over to Samantha now to share her testimony.
Hi.
I've muted.
I'll just share my screen 1 second. Can you see that? Yeah. Right. Right. So, hi everyone. I hope you've all had a great day today. It's been very sunny here. So I'm just going to share my story tonight with you all. So I started my work life at 15 on a horse stud farm, and I worked 11-hour days, 6 days a week, 365 days a year, all for just £20 a day. The money wasn't an issue, as I was doing something that I loved and I enjoyed every single minute I was there. But I also had my own horse at the time, and after 2 years of working there, my horse was my hobby. I put my money into it, and that started to feel like a chore, and I didn't want it to feel like that. So, but in the meantime, I stayed there because I saved up enough money to buy my first car at 17, and I just passed my test. So now I was looking for a proper job, as what people call. So I was unemployed for 6 months, and I applied to work at McDonald's, and I got the job. In the first 2 years, I loved it. But the reason I grew to dislike it was because I had a bad burn, and I was made to carry on working, as you can see in the picture. So in February 2020, I completed a nail technician course and passed, and I thought this was my way at McDonald's. But then lockdown hit, and I was furloughed from McDonald's with no guarantee that I'd return. And also I couldn't do anyone's nails because of lockdown. So I had enough, and I left my job, and that's where my Oriflame journey began. So in June, I joined Oriflame, June 2020, and I've never looked back. I'd spent 2 years previous around Oriflame with my mum being in the business as well. My first thought when joining was, well, I'm a bit shy and I don't really want to speak to people and sell the products. But then I thought, well, I could sell online and never have to speak to anyone and just be a little hermit. And it isn't hard. It really isn't. Like my mum just said, with the Boards app, it's just amazing. So just share the products and opportunity with everyone, because you never know who's going to buy and who's going to say, oh, well, I'll have another look at the business. So I started sharing the products with friends and family, but some of them said not right away, and I understood because we just gone into a lockdown and money was tight for people. So I started advertising online on my Facebook group and in some buy sell swap groups, and I started to build up a catalogue customer base, because that's what I'd known from being 7 years old with my mum when she used to do Clean Easy. And now I currently have 50 plus customers that order between £300 to £400 every campaign. So to me, that's enough to cover my personal target of 250 BP for whatever level that you want to hit. And then anything I sell online is a bonus. And building up my catalogue customer base, it's took a while, but you have to be consistent and show up for your customers, whether it's raining or snowing or whatever, just be there for them. Like my mum just said, I'm currently at a director level, but I'm working on hitting that consistently. But my highest income is £1,700 for just 3 weeks, and that's the most I've ever earned in any job. And probably a lot more than what the average 21-year-olds are earning at the minute. So this business has given me the opportunity to do a lot of things. I've paid for me and my friend to go to Turkey for 11 days when we can travel again. But my next giant goal is to save for a deposit for a house and move out on my own. This has been a goal of mine for a long, long time, but I've had some setback, but now I'm determined to do it. And finally, here are just a few of my favourite quotes. I've always believed that giving up is never an option and there is always a way to do things. So thank you very much.
Oh, thank you, Samantha. That was absolutely amazing. I know I'm biased, but yeah, she is a really, really hard worker, and she's followed the system and stuck with it, and that's why it's worked, like we've just said. So yeah, well done, Samantha. Thank you very much. So I will just share my slides again. Okay, so next we have Zoe, and she's talking about warm markets. So I will let Zoe take over. Do you have any slides, Zoe?
I've not managed to do the slides, but I can do some for
I
after.
can see you on the screen.
Yeah.
Are you there, Zoe?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now. Have you got slides, did you say?
No, I
Right,
don't.
okay, brilliant. I'll leave that on then, if that's okay.
Yep.
Okay, over to you.
Right, hi everyone. Sylvia's sort of asked me to talk about how I approach the warm market. So for me, like most of my sort of retail business has kind of grown from me talking to people in person rather than doing it sort of through Facebook or like phoning them. It's probably because of the job that I do part-time, which is hairdressing. So I'm quite used to doing that, and I feel for me like I can read the person better and see, sort of gauge what to how to approach them. So like I've worked in the hairdressing industry for like 29 years, and these are just some of the things that I've learned sort of through the years. So really about approaching potential customers, I sort of believe that you have to become what you're selling. So in my hairdressing career, I was a colour expert. So I always, because I always looked quite young when I was working in there, people didn't sort of believe I had the qualifications I had or the skill I had. So I sort of decided to change my image and always have like different coloured hair. So if somebody ended up copying me, I would end up changing it, because the way that people are is they judge you really quickly if they don't know you. So I mean, it's actually less than 10 seconds. So there's certain things that I've learned through my mistakes that really sort of help people warm to you and believe in what you're saying, I think. So I believe like if your self-care is really important, because you want people to want what you've got. And I feel like if your hair's a mess or you're not dressed appropriately, then it's going to put people off, because we're in a beauty industry. It's not right, but that's just how people are. So by this, I sort of mean like sort of becoming like the best version you can for yourself. When I talk about anything to do with the business, I talk with sort of excitement and tell them all about what the benefits for me have been, and just what I've sort of gained from it. And with sort of products, I just tell what I was like before, what it was like using it, and then sort of the after, the results and the benefits. I always sort of go into work now, like with my makeup on and things, but I didn't always. Before I joined Oriflame, I was kind of not feeling it, so I wasn't making such a big effort. But when I joined, I sort of wanted to wear the makeup, I wanted to use the products, and basically I don't use anything else in my house. There's nothing there. So I just sort of talk, and I'm motivated, and sort of tell them what I love and what I hope for. I try not to talk in monotone, because talking in a slightly higher tone is more excitable or more attractive to people. And I just think about the words I'm using and the tone. I always start talking about them and asking about them, and just listening and relating to them, and then I'll maybe tell them a story about where I can relate to them, and I ask them lots of questions, and I do the same when they're interested in buying the products, or they're interested in maybe joining. I mean, most of my team are people that I've spoken to rather than through the ads and things. I have got a couple, but the higher percentage is from me talking to people. And I just talk to absolutely everybody I come in contact with. Even if I'm going into the shop and it's maybe quieter, I will sort of stand and talk, and then just try and sort of gauge it from there. And I'm not like an overly confident person. I've just kind of learned to sort of pretend I am. And I was always sort of taught in hairdressing, doesn't matter how you're feeling, you are going through there, and you've got to put a smile on your face, and it's like a stage door as such. So I sort of apply it to what I'm doing now as well. I never sort of try to sell with a hard sale. I just talk about it, and just if I've got any of it on me, I will show them. I'll let them smell my perfume. I will, put some product on the back of their hand, and I feel like, or I'll show them the magazines. I've always got them on me. I've always got magazines on me, so that I can give them out if anyone's sort of interested. And where am I? And then I sort of deal with, wait a wee second, I've lost my track. And so if I don't really understand or I can't quite get to what they're wanting, I'll just keep asking questions until I do. I do that in my hairdressing job, and I do it with this as well, because when people don't like things, it tends to be they've got different expectations and what you sort of set out with. And I sort of dealt with complaint clients for years. So this is something I found that, really, really works. I don't go on to like order things or, do in my hairdressing as well, go on unless I understand. And you've got to sort of find a language that suits them, so they understand what you're saying as well. I've learned, and for me, one of the things that gives me confidence is learning about the products, learn, and like for network marketing, sort of all through January, February, I did loads of sort of intense courses because I wanted to up my game. I feel like, you've got to sort of work at it, you've got to learn, you've got to try things, find new ways to sort of grow. And I try and build relationships with my customers, and I think that's a big thing that that works. And I sort of for me, I've sort of try and learn what type of buyer that they are. So whether they're a kinesthetic buyer, which is someone who sort of like through their senses basically likes the touch or maybe likes the smell. And then you've got your sort of visual buyers, so they tend to like to look at maybe pictures or before and afters, so that they can sort of build up images, the pictures in their mind to understand what you're talking about. And then you've got your audio buyers, where they like to know the information about the product. So I've learned to sort of do that through meeting people through the years, and I think, you know, it's a big thing of why my sort of personal retail so high. I mean, I think like my most in 3 weeks was 2,000, just under 2,000 BP, and it kind of and I was not a retailer before. Like, I just, in my hairdressing, if I didn't believe in something, I wouldn't talk about it. But what I found with Oriflame was that I loved all the things about it. Loved the ethos of how they source things, how they're always trying to improve. They give back to nature, and these are all the kind of things that I talk about, because I think people now are more aware than ever about, you know, the environment, about their health. And I always say that, you know, everything's sort of made with your health in mind. So they kind of tick all the boxes, and that's what I do. And then maybe somebody will become a customer, and then they'll maybe sort of start asking questions about joining. And then what I do then is I talk about the whole team, the community, the friends that I've made, the support that everyone has gives each other, and also I love all the mindset stuff that we do, and I kind of sort of talk about that as well, because for me, in the last sort of 9 months, I've kind of got myself back after sort of going through a tough couple of years, and yeah, so and people that I know can see a difference, so it makes them sort of want to come and maybe be part of it, and that's all I'm going to say just now. But I do have loads more stuff that I've sort of learned through the trainings that I've done, that I'm quite happy to put together. You know, if anybody sort of joining would like to see it, I've learned it through all different things like Oriflame, Eric Ward and Dean Graziosis and Tony Robbins. They're all the sort of stuff I've done over the last couple of months, and it's just been amazing. So, and it's sort of built my confidence. So if I can help anybody with information, then just ask. And that's me.
Oh, that's absolutely amazing, Zoe. Thank you very much. So, yeah, you know, like Zoe says, she's really built her business by just speaking to all her friends and family and clients. And, you know, like Zoe's retail, she regularly retails £2,000 to £4,000 every campaign. So, you know, it's absolutely amazing. And like she said, you know, most of her team are friends or clients or family even. So, you know, it's absolutely amazing what you've done, Zoe, and that training was brilliant. So, you know, the amount of training that you've done and the amount of things that you've put yourself through to move your business forward is just all starting to come together now, and it's just so good to see. And, you know, like you say, it's brilliant if people who know you are starting to notice a difference in you as well. So that's really good. So yeah, thank you very much for sharing that.
You're welcome. Even today I was really, really ill, and but I still have made an effort, because I knew I was doing this tonight, because I thought I can't sit here and look like rubbish if I'm going to talk about all the things that work for my business. And you know, sometimes you don't feel like it, but then once you do it, it's sort of, you feel better for it. Yeah. So it's always just sort of pushing yourself just that little bit, because I have to do it every day with my health anyway, and I've sort of learned to sort of do that and not let it hold me back.
Yeah, brilliant. And we do have to do that in business, don't we, with everything. It's like, you know, when we say we have our own business so we can do what we want when we want, but we still have to push ourselves to do the things that we have to do to build the business. You know, it's not like having a boss, is it? You know, we've got to be our own boss. We've got to push ourselves forward. So yeah, that's within the whole business, isn't it? So just I forgot to put a slide in of mine today, and I just wanted to say, you know, when you are starting to team build, Zoe's just touched on it there about personal development, about working on your mindset, you know, learning new things. Being on these Zooms is absolutely amazing because you're going to pick up everything. You know, loads of hints and tips from everybody anyway, but you know, reading some books and listening to podcasts and things as well is really, really helpful. So a couple of books that I would recommend for when you first start team building is Go for No, which is absolutely amazing because we are going to get a lot of no's. We need to go through numbers. Zoe's just mentioned it there, that made me remember this book, Questions Are the Answers. You know, we need to be asking people questions. Why? You know, going deeper into what their reasons are for, so that we can help them better with this business. You know, we can help them into the right direction and things like that. GoPro by Eric Worre, absolutely amazing. And Beach Money by Jordan Adler is absolutely amazing. You know, that if that doesn't make you want to do more with the business, then, you know, nothing will. And podcast, Fraser Brooks, you know, a lot of the things that we do, like the blitzes and things like that, have all come from Fraser Brooks training. So, you know, listening to Fraser Brooks is absolutely amazing. So has anybody got any questions from tonight's training, or any questions in general? Or any shout outs, if anybody's got any shout outs they want to do, if anybody wants to unmute themselves and ask. No, we're doing absolutely brilliant for time, aren't we?
I've got a question, Sylvia, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course, go ahead.
I'm fairly new and I'm just trying to build my business up. So that was the main reason why I, you know, was really interested in what you were saying earlier. I've just put into place some of the things you said, and I've been doing it already. But every time I try to list on the buying or selling groups, my posts don't get allowed because I'm advertising for jobs. I was wondering if there was a different way I could do it.
Right, so are you using the adverts that are on the boards app?
Yes.
Right, okay. And one thing I would say is join different groups, because sometimes admins of groups think that they are the boss, and they will be like, oh no, you can't do that, you can't do this. So them type of groups, maybe you can't post on them.
Okay.
Posting in a general way of not saying it's a job, or, you know, posting a picture might get more, you know, might allow it more. But mainly I would say just join more groups, because there's loads and loads of groups out there that will accept them. You know, like I say, I've got 1,200 on mine and there's 10 million groups out there. So, you know, don't worry about if people aren't accepting you. Sometimes it is just the admins. You know, if they make the rules up, you know, the rules on some of the groups are ridiculous. But just join different groups, because you'll always find, you know, some buy and sell groups. Are you putting it on as a discussion as well?
I've just looked. I mean, like I said, I am all really new to this, so I'm probably getting things a bit wrong. The first couple I did as a selling post, but then I've done a few as a discussion.
Right, yeah. So you're better off doing it as a discussion. Even for selling products, I would say put it in as a discussion rather than a selling post. But yeah, just, you know, just keep trying different ones. You know, sometimes it might be that they're not accepting it, but then they accept it a day or two later.
Okay.
You know, as well. So even if you know, if they're not getting accepted, still just keep posting, but definitely just keep joining new groups each day. And then the ones that you know that are not letting you post, just come out of the group. So then when you're going around your list, then you know you're not going to get that same problem.
Yeah, brilliant. Thank you.
Okay. Anybody else got any other questions? No? Any other shout outs?
Not got any questions, Sylvia. Just a big shout out for tonight. Loved tonight's training. Just like when you said they started it off by there's 43.5 million people on Facebook, how many of them are you having in your team? You know, people say it's saturated, everybody else is doing it, somebody else has posted something in that group. Somebody's always on there looking, so you know, if you're not out there, they're not going to see it, are they? And I think you went through some really great tips there, so thank you very much for that. I loved Samantha's story. She's just got, you know, it's just incredible, isn't it? We've been in this business ourselves for 15 odd years now, and you know what I love to see is what your children have picked up and learned, and seeing them put that in place, and seeing that work ethic, you know, that determination for setting goals, and that normal children don't get that when the parents go to work. They don't see that, and I think, you know, that's just a massive side benefit of the business. If you've got children and you're on this journey, you really don't realize the impact that that is having on your children. It is just amazing to see, Sylvia, so I'm sure you must be so proud of that, and I know you are. And Zoe, I just loved it. You know, I just loved your training tonight. I think, you know, definitely questions are the answers, and, you know, it is all about that other person and asking the right questions, being that person that's role modeling. You know, you get up, you dress up, you put your makeup on, doesn't matter how you're feeling. It really is something that, you know, we do have to do, and it's not easy to do, but it's, you know, it's easy, you know, it's easy to do at the same time, isn't it? It's quite a simple thing, but it makes a big difference. And I just think there was loads and loads of really fabulous hints and tips. I've got loads of notes, so I'm sure everybody else has. And, you know, it's not easy putting these trainings together, and, you know, you have to think, but I'm sure everybody's been able to take something away from tonight. So many thanks for organising all of that, Sylvia. I know you've been, you know, leading that tonight, and many thanks to Samantha and Zoe for taking part, stepping up, you know, and doing what you've done tonight. So thank you.
Yeah, stepping out your comfort zone. It's so good in this business with the support that we have. It's just, everything's just amazing, isn't it? I absolutely love being part of this team and and helping other people. It is just really, really good. But yeah, thank you very much.
Yeah, I do as well. It's like a breath of fresh air being part of a company that's for supporting everyone and just being really friendly. It's like hairdressing's a different environment. It's very competitive, and so I think that's why I love it so much. So it's really good.
I think most job things are competitive, aren't they? People don't want to help in case you move forward and they don't, but that's what's so good about this business, and our team in particular. You know, everybody's so helpful, aren't they? And you know, we all want everybody else to do well, and it's absolutely lovely, isn't it? I love it.
It really is, yeah. It's so nice. I've had a really hard day in work today, and you just realise the difference in people when you come on something like this. I really want to take some personal development books and pop them on people's desks at work, because I think that's the issue, you know. I think some of them are so rude and so judgmental and assuming, and I just think, oh my God, love, you really need to read a good personal development book. Oh God.
Amazing how different people are, isn't it, in like the job world compared to what we've got here. It's, you know, it is just brilliant.
And we are the product of the people that we surround ourselves by. So, you know, that's lovely to hear, Zoe, that people are noticing that change within you. You know, you've worked really hard on that. I know you have. You know, you've really invested in yourself. You've really committed that to your personal development. But when people start to notice that, it's so empowering that they're seeing that. You know, you're doing it and you're working on it, and then, you know, it's just really, really nice to see. So, but well done, ladies. Just absolutely loved tonight. Thank you so much for that.
Brilliant. So yeah, so we've done really good for time as well. So if nobody else has got anything, then I'll say thank you very much for everyone for being on tonight, and good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.